Tonight, the question is that I ask you, YouTube and Rumble viewers, do I sell my Apollo Twin X and get almost all the way out of the Universal Audio ecosystem? It won't take me all the way out because now the way Universal Audio does the native plugins, some of those will be left behind for me, I believe. Some of the native plugins I will still own, so like it or not, I'll still be able to enjoy some of those. But otherwise, I'm thinking about, sorry, I'm just putting this in the camera holder here. I'm thinking about selling the Apollo and getting out of the Universal Audio ecosystem. And I'm asking you guys, should I? Is the age of the dongle over? I see that Waves, by dongle, I mean dongle in terms of copyright protection, like protection of the software, but as well the DSP. Because they've used this as not only the dongle, meaning my plugins won't run without seeing it, but also it's DSP, right? Digital signal processing. But the computers are so fast now. The i5s, the i7s, the i9s, the Macs, the A chips. I'm using a Mac Mini here. The computers are so strong. I don't think that we need the DSP any longer. But my bigger problem is I have this Tascam Model 24, and I have the Apollo, which I use with a Mac in Reaper. There's my Mac computer there. And I get paralysis analysis. I've been working on this album since 2018. Well, now it's 2025. I know how pathetic that is. I've mentioned that before, and some of you guys are like, dude, just finish your album. I'm like, I know, guys. I know. I wish it was that simple. And it's not, it's an album 4 people are ever going to hear. I'm not Guns N' Roses, but I'm taking a Guns N' Roses amount of time to finish this album. I mean, I'm being Axl Rose about it. I mean, how long did Chinese Democracy take? Is it like 13 years or something? And I'm not, I'm not the best band in my town, let alone at that level. But yeah, it's taken me this long to finish the album. And it's because I'm going back and forth between the Tascam Model 24 and the Apollo and Reaper. So, Mike over at I Love Recording, it's simple. He goes in the tracker, he stays in the tracker, he's a happy guy. But I have all these plugins. I paid, I don't know how many thousands for this thing at the time, and I got thousands in plugins. So, Mike might be working out bored over here. You know what I try to set out to work to finish this album? And I'm going, shoot, I really should be using the thousands of dollars of plugins I've bought. What a waste. And that's what goes through my head. So the workflow goes back and forth. So I mix some of it here. I mix some of it in the Apollo with Reaper. And I go back and forth. And it really wrecks me. It wrecks my brain. So I've got, what we got here for songs? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs done. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 written that need to be recorded. So that brings us up to 11, and then I just need to write a couple, which won't be a problem. I can pull a song out of where pretty quick, slap it on the album. My problem is not writing songs. I can write songs all day. It's this workflow. Am I in Reaper with my plugins, or am I in Tascam? Having to rely on my outboard gear. I'll just take a little peek at my outboard gear here. Got a couple racks there. Got effects pedals all over the place. I got more effects than what you can see here. I got lots of outboard gear. So you guys have heard me complain about this before if you follow the channel. And I've always ended up selling the Tascam Model 24. And then getting a Zoom L20, which I own both of them now. Plus I own 2 Focusrite units. What I've never, in all of my paralysis analysis and selling stuff and buying stuff, what I've never dumped is the Apollo, the Universal Audio Apollo, okay? I've never looked at that guy and gone, maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the gateway back into the Mac. Excuse me, that I don't like. Also, it makes me use the Mac, too. I'm back in the Mac. I would rather give this Mac to my girlfriend. She's good at video editing. You wouldn't know that from looking at my crappy videos, because I never edit my videos, but she's good at it. She can take a Mac computer and make a Hollywood movie, not that good, but you know what I'm saying. She's pretty good with the iMovie software that the Mac comes with. I'd rather give her this Mac. Take it off my desk. Get it out of here. I don't want a Mac computer with this stupid mouse and this stupid keyboard. I don't want it. So it's this guy, this Apollo. It's the Apollo that brings me back. The Apollo is the gateway back into the computer, the gateway back into Reaper. So since 2018, but really bad in the last 4 months, I go to set out to work to finish my album and I can't do it, guys. And it's serious. Like it's a bad problem. You have no idea. I end up making these YouTube videos instead of getting any work done. And I know you guys are like, well, working on that album since 2018 is pathetic. I'm like, I know. I'll take all the criticisms you want to heap on. I know how pathetic that is, that I can't just get it done. But I'm stuck in this workflow paralysis analysis. And now I'm sitting here going, maybe it's you. Maybe you're the guy that needs to go. Okay. So a short history of me and Universal Audio. I bought in way back in the first UAD cards. It was PCI. You guys know what a PCI slot is on a motherboard. And then there was, so I had that for 5 years and then it kind of went obsolete. And then the UAD2 came out. I think that was a PCI or PCIe. So I had that card for a while. And then I had the satellite, the USB satellite. And you're always trapped in either Windows or PC with the Universal Audio ecosystem, right? But you're paying. I swear it's every 6 years you're upgrading, you're paying. And I'm buying plugins the whole time. Luckily around Cyber Monday and Boxing Day and what's the other, Black Friday, like UAD, they do pull the price of their plugins down pretty good. And the bundles are good deals. So if you can get a bundle on a holiday, you can get the plugins down to, $60 a pop or whatever. Then I had the USB satellite, which was Windows only, and then I bought the 4X or the X4. So I had to get a Mac, so I bought a Mac for that reason. I bought a Mac computer to stay in this ecosystem. And then I bought the Twin. I downgraded the 4 and bought the Twin. And now here I am, analysis paralysis, can't get any work done because I can't decide whether I'm working in Tascam Model 24 or the Apollo. So then you're saying, well, what does getting rid of it do for you? Well, let's be honest about what I use with this. Even though I probably own 75% of all the plugins they offer. No word of a lie. You name it, I probably own it. I didn't buy into that Capitol Records thing. I know you guys all have that Capitol Records plugin. I didn't want it. I also have a nice suite of Waves. So it's not like I'm leaving the computer in terms of, like I won't have anything left. I've got a really nice, I got Waves Gold, I got the Abbey Road for Waves, so I still have a parachute back to the computer, which I don't think will draw me in as much as this thing sitting on my desk, honestly. This is the one here going, you use me, you spent money, use me, right? The Waves don't knock at my mental door like this one does, because I paid not much for the Waves. What do I got to buy in for the Waves? Maybe 500 US? This one I'm thousands. So if you're asking, well, what is getting rid of this going to do for you? Well, what plugins do I actually use with it? I use the LA2A, which I nicely have Warm's LA2A right here, this guy here. And I use the 1176. Well, frick, for the money, if I sell this guy, I can buy two Warm 1176s or some kind of 1176 type hardware. So I only really use the LA2A and the 1176. I guess I use the reverb. There's not a lot I even use when I am in Reaper. I tend to go to the Waves plugins. So then, I've lost the plot. This not being on my desk, I'm going to feel less compelled to have this workflow war in my brain. Am I here or am I here? Am I here or am I here? I think by dumping this and not replacing it, so I'll sell this and all the plugins to somebody on Reverb or Local or whatever. Yes, I'll still have a computer. Yes, I'll still have some plugins floating around, Waves and all my natives left over, because some of these native plugins are going to be left over. But I'm just going to know that I work here from now on. I don't go to Reaper. I don't go to the computer except for my, my fake master at the end. And even the mastering, I think I'm going to go to mastering. Has become so affordable now. There's services that do it. I know a legendary Grammy-winning producer who will master my stuff for pretty cheap, honestly. Yeah, pretty cheap. Because the mastering has become so affordable now. This guy's down in, well, he was in Florida. I'm not sure where he is now, but he's won a Grammy, and I can get him to master my stuff for pretty affordable, especially since I'm an independent. I can also get a guy that masters for a band I love to master for me for pretty cheap, pretty affordable. So I don't even know if I will go to my own computer to get the mastering done or do my own mastering when I can get these guys to do it for, very, very affordable. Even CD Baby will run masters for you. I don't know what that costs, but it's probably even cheaper than these producers. What about... Yes, I mean, this is my thoughts. Maybe you're the problem screwing with my head. Or maybe I do what I always do and I sell it. 2 days later, I regret it, and then I get back on, and I'm like, oh, bye-bye, my Apollo and all my plugins that I've been collecting for 25 years. Bye-bye. And then I start regretting it and going, oh, shoot. But I don't think so, because I just don't use a lot of the plugins. And the other thing is the DSP that they make you use out of this thing is so slim. I can only run about 6 or 8 of their plugins before the DSP on that thing is conked out, like maxed out, and then I got to go native anyway. So why don't I just use their native, their LA2A, their 1176? I would even just, let's say I sell all my plugins for the UA and they wipe my native collection out, which I don't think is how it works. I think they're going to leave my natives or some of my natives. I would even then turn around and buy their LA2A and their 1176 plugins just to have them. They are good, right? But it's the only ones I use. So I think I've answered my own question. I think I'm going to sell this, get out of this ecosystem. In the future, if there's a Universal Audio plugin that I'm interested in, sure, I'll buy the native version. If there's not a native version, I guess I don't need it in my life that badly, And then I just decide I'm in the Tascam Model 24. That's how it is now. I don't have this distraction on my desk no longer going, use me, you paid for me and all the plugins and you have thousands of dollars, use me. No, I don't think so. I think I'll do my work over here and try not to be distracted. I've sold this thing so many times because of this workflow madness. And maybe I shouldn't have ever been selling this thing, and maybe I should have sold this thing a long time ago. But what do you guys think? Have any of you guys dumped you out of the Universal Audio ecosystem? Have any of you guys sold your Universal Audio stuff, walked away, and never looked back? Do any of you guys think that the age of the DSP dongle is over? Please let me know. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, but even more important than liking and subscribing, talk to me, please. Let me know. Any of you guys have any of you guys escaped this cult and you're still happy, functioning citizens out there? Please let me know. Thanks a lot, everybody. Talk to you later.